Alright, now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to blue using the easiest formula for bluing I've ever used. This Formula 4440. This is awesome. This stuff, you get it from Brownells, and the stuff works so fast, and a bottle will last you forever. It tells you how to use it on the back. I got my own way to use it. Actually, this is my second bottle. I just got this in a couple days ago just because my older one, which I had for like 6 or 7 years, I knocked it off the bench. So unless you're clumsy like me, it should last you forever, unless we decide to tip it in this video. So after you get your part blued or your part ground out, what you want to do is you degrease it, and you could use either like a I used just a carb cleaner. That's the best thing to degrease it, and try not to touch it. And one way to keep your bluing lasting forever is to don't do any cross-contamination. So that means when you dip this, one side of your Q-tip, and I love using Q-tips, when you dip your Q-tip in there and then you're wiping it on here, do not dip the same side in there, because you'll contaminate your bottle, and that's it. It won't work anymore. First thing you want to do is, since I've been hunting in this part, a small little part, you want to bring the metal up to like body temperature, 90 degrees. So I've just been holding this for the last 10 minutes in my hand, kind of rubbing it around and getting it to warm up. Obviously, if you're doing a bigger part, like a magazine or something like that, just use a blowtorch and kind of just use the blowtorch on it, kind of sparingly, until you feel it getting warm to the touch. And then I would, but if it gets too hot to touch, then you want to wait for it to cool down. So what we're going to do, take a Q-tip, and another thing is, when you use this, you don't want to use, you want to make sure you keep it away from existing blue. And then what I do is you kind of just take it and kind of just rub it across the top. And you can see how that automatically just kind of darken it up. You don't want to use it on existing blues, because what will happen is you'll see where it blued, and it's hard to get it off. And unless you repolish the whole gun again. So you can see how fast, let's see if I can get it up there, how fast that just blew. And you see the bluing is, the chemical reaction is coming off on your Q-tip. Now if you feel like you need another coat, look at that. Look how nice that looks. Really blue, beautiful blue. If you feel like you need another coat, go ahead and, like I said, turn your Q-tip around and use this side. You barely need just a little bit. I really don't need another coat, but I'm just going to do it to show you guys. And then what you're doing is you're just rubbing it back and forth. You're working it into the metal. Basically what you're doing. Just like so. Let it dry. You can see it's drying pretty quickly here. Let's cap this up so I don't spill it like my last one. I got this thing about spilling. Cap it up. Let it dry. And then what you want to do is you want to rinse it with a soaked, paper towel, or I got a cloth here I'll use. You want to wipe it down. And what you're doing, you're just removing the excess, see? And just make sure it's just regular water. And what happens is, if you don't wipe the excess off, this thing will rust like you'll never believe. You'll come back and you'll find it just rusted out. Tell me how I know. Ask how I know. Yeah, experience is sometimes the best. Let's see. So we got a little bit on there. Let's put a little bit more. And you can touch it up like that. Let it dry completely. We didn't let it dry completely. So. And like I said, you don't want to. Stuff's pretty toxic, so make sure you wash your hands if you come in any contact with it. And that's about it. Once this dries out, give it another rub down with water, and just to remove the excess. And then what I like to do is just give it a shot of oil, rinse it, or wipe it down with the oil really well, and let it dry. And you can see how nice that blue comes out. You can make your screws look all brand new now. So now you guys don't have any excuse for having buggered up screws on your guns, because I've showed you how to do it. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop me a line.